Can you believe that it's already been a year since we picked up the ROG? So, in normal YouTube fashion, I figure I'd do a quick walk around on the upgrades that we've done, as well as just how the RV itself is done. So, we'll start at the front here. You guys that have been following along know that I've switched over to the lock and roll hitch. That has been awesome. We haven't had any issues with that. Here we have the spare tire. We did upgrade the wheels and tires. I had to modify the holder a little bit on here. I had to move where the, where the stud came through, because it pushed it so far down that I had to cut the old stud on that was welded on and put a new stud welded above it so I could roll it and have room. But it does still sit right on there, so it's getting pressure from underneath as well. So it's as tight as she can be on there. That's really all we've done up front. I have noticed a little bit of peeling on the front on the stickers. It's only on the front. I reached out to Encore. They were super cool. They explained that it's just because we live in Colorado, that it's the sun or the snow coming down and it just kind of keeps scraping on the stickers basically. Not a big deal. They offer to replace them and stuff, but that's the least of my concerns. In here, other than some gizmos and gadgets, we haven't done much. One thing I will show that I love is that we got these cheap little bamboo things, and that's been awesome. So then we can, when we're getting in and out, because we normally keep a shoe bucket underneath here. So we normally have this waterproof shoe bucket right there. So that allows us to sit right here, put our shoes in there, and then we can get in and we're not dragging dirt and grass and stuff in the unit with us. We have the OVS 270 awning still on there. We don't use that a ton, but when we do, it's super nice. I'll show you guys how it's mounted, because that's like the #1 question I get is how it's mounted. Encore has their own mount now, so I'll kind of explain the differences, but we're still rocking that guy. We did do the keyless pad just on what would be the passenger side. That is always an upgrade we do on all of our RVs we ever have. We upgraded the tires to a 33 with a 15-inch wheel. Those have seen my other videos know we switched over to the Timbren axles on here. As far as in the kitchen area, everything's been really good. We did change out the stove top. This comes with a glass one, and we never had an issue with the glass, but because we drive on bumpy roads a lot, we would come back, I would open the back and the grill would be kind of sitting like that. So I was just afraid that one day it would crack the glass. So we found this guy. So this gives us the side wind protection, and then I don't have to worry about glass breaking or doing anything weird. Got the baby lock on there. As far as storage, it's anyone that has one of these knows that you try and be as organized as you can be, but at the end of the day, it's just chaos. So we put a little rack in here so we can separate some heavier stuff from the bottom. A little area over here for just drinks. And here's where we keep the paper towels. To keep the paper towels from rolling, we got one of these guys. This is actually for picnic tables, to keep the cloth on the picnic tables. So we just started using that to keep it from unraveling, and that's been awesome. Typical stuff in here, just utensils. This side, this is where we used to keep the toilet paper, because we have the fold-out bathroom on the side. But we just found one of these guys. So this is an actual waterproof toilet paper holder, and it clips anywhere you need it. So we just throw this in, and then whenever we have the bathroom deployed, we'll clip it on here And that way we don't have to worry about bringing it in and out every time. We don't have to worry about it getting dirty or if it rains, anything like that. So that's a really cool item that we found. One of the other items that I'm super happy with. So we make a lot of coffee and we just use instant coffee, typically on the trail. So we got one of these little cast iron griddles because without it, the mugs just kind of sit on the actual burner. So we got one of these and that allows us to do it more proper where it should be. So that's really cool. We like that. Walking around this side, we really haven't done much. We've got the fold out shower bathroom area. We have the Thule up top right now. We've never gone camping with it on there. It's just there basically right now, but we plan to use it in the future. It's a good way to carry a lot more stuff. It's off my wife's SUV, so we just needed somewhere to put it, so that's where it is now. Other than that, that's about it. I guess let's take you inside and I can show you what I've done inside. Now, inside, we're not fancy people. We just rock the old canvas sleeping bags most of the time. We don't make beds and do that stuff. We're just too lazy for all that. The jack ends up coming in here. I guess that's one thing that we did do that I didn't talk about. So we put on the Trailer Valet removable jack with the drill attachment. So we'll use that to take it on and off, and that way I can take the entire assembly off. We just throw it on the bed in here, and then once we put it on, we'll just dust off the bed, get the junk off. So Trailer Valet, that's a super nice setup. Inside of here, we haven't done a lot. We use the back mainly for storage. It's normally just myself and one other person going. So that ends up being blanket storage, pillow storage. One thing we did do this winter was actually add all the reflectives on all the windows to keep some more of the warmth in. The RV keeps itself plenty warm, but you just feel that radiating cold from the windows. So we made these for all of the windows. On these side ones, we just did snaps so we can snap them on and off. And then the front ones here, they're just put in by pressure. And then we just put a little piece of black duct tape in there so we know where they all go. But that's done a good job of regulating the temperature inside of here. That's something I would definitely do. You guys know we put cup holders all over the place because that's always an issue. We put a thermometer in the back just so we kind of had an idea, but I don't think it's accurate. It's definitely not 80 degrees in here. The bunk bed extension we took out. We don't ever use. We just keep this more as like a nightstand. So that's where keys and glasses and drinks at night will go. The solar panel, we've got the little broom holders that we use to hold the flashlights. The other thing that we really like that may not be in here, but we got a phone holder that's a pressure one, so it clips right here and it has like a 3-foot extension, because sometimes I'm trying to preserve the battery so I won't run the TV, but if I'm in a spot that I can use my phone rather than sitting there holding it, we found this extension so I can have the phone over here and I can be hands-free still doing stuff but watching shows. We really like that. And same thing, we got long extension cables for charging the phone, so we can go anywhere in the unit and we can charge it without having to be too tethered to the wall. Another thing the kids like is we got one of the tiny Nintendo guys. So we just have the Apple adapter, so we can plug this in, or well, I guess we can do the HDMI straight in there, or a lot of the times we'll do this so we can plug in our phones so we can stream YouTube actually on the TV. So just a few different ways of keeping the kids entertained with all of that. Up here, just baskets for miscellaneous stuff. The closet, in the closet area, it just becomes kind of a catch-all. I normally have a backpack that I keep on the bunk bed that I house all my clothing in. So this is kind of all the RV gear that I need for it, all the cables, antennas, different fold-up towels and stuff for showering. And then up here, I'll keep some stuff, but generally I forget it's there, so I don't keep a lot in there. Again, the Reflectix on all the windows is a really cool idea. We've got the bug nets. We normally winter camp, so bugs aren't typically an issue. But if they are, we can snap those on, deploy those really easy. We did do the access panel in the back as well, so we can get eyes on the water pump and the water tank, just for when you winterize it. These things winterize really easy, so you don't necessarily need it, but it's just nice to be able to get eyes on everything that's happening in there. So if there ever was an issue, you can just get straight to it. You're not having to take off panels or do anything weird. So, I'm trying to think. Oh, I guess the other big thing you may have noticed that we switched out on the ROG is the tow vehicle. So we started life with a 2020 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon with the 2-liter turbo in it. The problem is that we had 37s on it and it was lifted, and so it would pull the ROG just fine. And that was actually a main reason we bought this size RV, is because I wanted to keep it within the tow range of the Wrangler. But here in Colorado, anywhere to go camping, you have to go up I-70, and it's just the longest hill climbs ever. And so the Jeep did it fine, but it would start to get hot and then it just couldn't cool itself off. So just to be on the safe side, we ended up going with the new F-150 with the EcoBoost. So this thing doesn't even think about the ROG behind it. It's been really, really nice. So, but that's one thing to keep in mind if you are trying to pull one of these with a smaller vehicle. Even though it's in its tow rating, if you're in a place with big hills and stuff like that, you may still want to make sure that the tow vehicle's well above the tow range of the vehicle, of the RV. Now, as far as issues with it, I sure can't think of one. We've had really good luck with it. When we got it, the remote for the TV didn't work. Encore sent us one right out. I didn't love the hitch, obviously. It felt a little janky, so we switched that out right away. We keep an eye on all the welds and stuff underneath, and this trailer's been beat up pretty good. It's had miles and miles of really rough washboard roads that I don't go easy on. I fly down. So, and it's handled all of that beautifully. I haven't seen any stress fractures at all. One bummer I will say is that on the tempered axles, I know that's not an Encore thing, is that the front, well, all of the powder coating, the red, it just flakes off super fast. So I don't know if they have a primer or bonding issue there, but just expect that to basically be raw metal real quick. We really don't have much bad to say about it. I mean, it is a tiny RV, so as long as you're keeping that in mind, that you're buying a bed in a box, you know, you're not getting the nice bathrooms, you're not going to sit up in bed and eat food and stuff. I mean, this is made to make you be outside in just a comfortable place to sleep, which is why we love it. This means that the kids aren't inside playing games and doing stuff. They almost have to be outside during the day, enjoying whatever we're doing. And then come nighttime, we can all go in there, we're all comfortable, we're warm, safe. So it's just the best of both worlds. Which is just why we love this thing. trying to think if there's anything else worth talking about. I sure don't think so, though. I think that about wraps it up. If you guys are in the market for one of these ROGs, I definitely highly recommend it. It's been awesome. We haven't had any issues. And even better than not having any issues, the customer support that you have on the back end has been phenomenal. I mean, the owner of the entire company has no problem calling you, going over stuff, sending you new parts, fixing stuff. They want to keep growing and expanding, and it's really impressive. It's so relieving knowing that you have a good back end that still actually has your back. So highly recommend the company. All of Encore stuff I wouldn't hesitate buying again. Other than that, I guess I will leave you guys alone. As always, thanks for watching. We really appreciate the support, and we will see you hopefully in the outdoors. Okay, real quick before I forget, here's how I mounted the OVS awning. So we've got big U-bolts that I have cradling the end of the racks. I've got this bracket pushed as tight as I can, so I'm getting as much weight over here. Then I've got the 2 U-bolts on every one of them, and so that puts as much pressure on this bracket. I was playing with putting a bolt through here and through the bottom just to sandwich it, but I just haven't had any issues. I've had this on so many dirt roads and going 80 miles an hour down the road with very little vibration, so I think it's a pretty solid way to mount it.